Hi, welcome to the tutorial for NPC Forge. This is the module for generating random NPCs or enemies. It needs some setup, but this is what you're gonna get at the end. So I will now generate 3 veteran human archer crossbowmen. We'll see what we're gonna get. So as you can see, 3 of the NPCs appears. Each of them are unique. They got different edges, different attributes, as you can see. It needs some setup, and now I'm gonna show you how it's gonna go. So this is the fresh world. The module is already on, and as you can see, we got some basic compendiums that we're gonna use, and also I created another one for the gear, as you can see, and also I will need you to create additional 2 compendiums, one for race and one for archetype. Both of them has to be item type. And now to use my module, you have to go to actors, and you can see that additional icon appeared. At the beginning it doesn't work because it needs you to set up in configure settings few stuff, and this is the compendiums. So one compendium for archetype, one for race, one for skills, basic skills, one for edges, one for hindrances, powers, gear, and also you can use separate compendium for natural weapon, but you can just use another gear. And that's it. Settings are finished, and now we can turn on. As you can see, at the beginning we cannot do anything because basically we don't have any archetypes and races yet, but now we're gonna do it. Besides, we got 4 different options for character type and also the rank. Let's start from the race. We're gonna go with human because that's the easiest one. So depends on your race, you can settle different set of attributes, right? Well, attributes are always the same, but the range of them is not. So in most cases, you're not gonna do anything around here because from D4 to D12, that's usual type of race. Sometimes you might do something very big, so you can start from D10 and finish on D12 plus 4, or something very small, right? But in general situation, you're gonna use this. There is also anomaly range. I suggest to leave it as it is. I will explain later what it do. You can set animal smarts. The next part is skills. This is the list that your race will start with. So, for example, as a human, you probably want to add common knowledge or persuasion, right? It's similar with the edges. You can add something from the list if your race need one, or you can simply drag and drop it. If you decide that you don't need it after all, you can always delete it. Because we're doing human, we don't need any edges, or hindrances, or powers, but the rule is always the same. You can obviously add a hindrance, add a power from the list, or drag and drop. Next modifier are not items, but I think you can understand the rule, right? You can change the size, you can change the pace, you can also change the running die, for example, or toughness, right? The important part is that if you change the size to something big and the maximum wounds changes, you can tick or untick apply wounds if you want or don't want the maximum wounds to be applied on the character sheet later. Because that's a human, the only stuff we're gonna add is additional edge, right? If your race starts with some kind of natural weapons, for example, some kind of claws, you can add it here. This is the list from compendium, but you probably don't want to use rapier, so you might want to filter by the category. So now, as you can see, we can settle claws. But obviously, as a human, we don't have any clause, so we're going further. The next one is random tables. If a race needs something unusual, you can add it here. For example, I got the intelligence table, right? And after we're gonna create our human, the result from this table will appear on the card in his description. We're gonna leave it as it is. I think the human is already finished, so we're gonna click create, and the human appeared to our list. Now we're gonna create an archetype. Let's create warrior. I don't know which type, any type. We're going to start with attributes. We got 5 attributes, and each of them we can set to the level that means the frequency of the draw. So the first level means that the agility will never be gonna be a result of a draw, and the last one means that the agility will always be the first one that's gonna be bought by the generator. So in usual cases, we're gonna use only those 3 levels with the anvils. Because that's a warrior, we assume that we need a lot of agility, and we probably don't need that much of the rest of the attributes. The last important, I think, for this case, we're gonna set spirit. Well, and smarts. Now, the next one is skills. This is exactly the same rule. You got the list of your skills from compendium. So for the warrior, we probably need a fight. We also might want to add him shooting and some other stuff that you can set however you want. For example, you might don't need any performance, so for any reason you might want to battle, healing, you don't use a cult, and so on, so on. You can choose however you want. This is totally random at this time. So the next one is edges. So this is the list that we're gonna create, that we're gonna draw from. So you can add the edges one by one, but obviously this is the harsh way, or you can add them as a group. We don't have any group settled yet, but we can click here and create new tag. So for example, warrior. This is gonna be a tag that we're gonna use now. If you choose the tag, then you can set which of the edges will be most important. Obviously, I'm choosing totally random. And now we can add the set warrior, and this one and this set means that the frequency you're choosing gonna work for each of the warrior edges. We're obviously gonna use the similar technique for powers, right? You can add them one by one, or you can add them as a set. Obviously, on this set we don't have any power at the moment, but we can set it. There are, like you see, 3 buttons here, not just one. We're gonna start from brain icon, and here you should settle which edges are important for powers. So first one is arcane backgrounds, and this is the one that gives and allows the NPC to have powers and power points. Obviously, you can set more of them if you need them for your world. So for this one, arcane background, you can set how many power points for the start it is, and also how many powers it gives you at the beginning, and also which skill is important for this arcane background. Obviously, we're not gonna set anything here because we're creating warrior, but this is how it's gonna work if you're gonna create the mage or any kind of arcane background NPC. Similar with other 2, the new powers, you can set how many powers it gives when each time it's gonna be drawn from the generator, and power points obviously gives additional power points. Those settings gonna be remembered by the module, so you don't have to do it each time. The next icon is also set up. Here you should tick all of the power edges. The reason is that when you tick it, it doesn't allow the generator to draw them if you don't have first the arcane background skill. So you can leave it as any, or you can choose the correct one, the arcane backgrounds, because sometimes you got more of them, and in our situation we got only one, so any is enough. And the last button is similar as you've seen before, so you can set which of the powers will be put into the warrior set, which we don't need any at the moment. And also you can set the rank for the power if it needs to be drawn on veteran, for example. Obviously this one and also this one will be remembered by the module. You can obviously add the powers if you need one, but this is the warrior, so we don't need any. So next one is more important for warrior, which is an armor. You have simple mode and detail mode. We're gonna start from simple. So you got 4 sections here: torso, head, arms and legs, and you can add as usual, for example, leather jacket, or if you want it, you can add no armor as one of the possible results. Obviously also the tags can be applied here. So for now we're gonna set a few possibilities. I'm not gonna think about it too much, so we're gonna set all of them the same, and we're not gonna change any of these frequencies. We're gonna leave it as it is. Detail mode means exactly the same, but the difference is that you're gonna set it separately for each of the rank. In simple mode, no matter of the rank, always this one gonna be drawn from. So if you're gonna set to detail mode, you want to add on each of the different rank the new list. We're gonna leave it as a simple mode. And now we're gonna jump to weapons. As you can see, we got simple and detail mode. We're gonna stay on simple mode. You can add additional variants. First, choose which type you want: dual wield or two-handed weapon. The only difference is this got 2 slots and this got only 1, but it doesn't really mean two-handed. You can choose whatever you want. This means that the slot gonna be only 1. So, for example, you can choose additional weapons, and now your archetype will randomize one of those 3. But as you can see, we got a bow here, so we might need an ammo for that. This is why we got another icon here. Here we can set the amount of the ammo that's gonna be added to the card if necessary. So for example, for the bow, you might need 10 arrows, for the crossbow 10 bolts, for the longbow 10 arrows, but oh, the stone got the exclamation mark here. What does it mean? That means that I didn't put on my gear compendium the ammo for the slingshot. We can fix it, obviously, like that. Now we got it. When you close it and open again, everything goes back to normal. We're gonna get one of the results from those 3, but what if we don't know, do we want to have two-handed or dual wield? Then we can add an additional variant. Choose it to or, choose it to dual wield. And what does it mean? That means that first, the throne gonna be a variant. So if you choose it like that, that more probable this variant will be drawn first, and then the result will be drawn from those 3 options. But it might happen that this one will be drawn. That means that we're gonna get knife and slingshot to our character. But sometimes you want both, right? Because the knife might be something quite important for as additional weapons. So we're gonna change it to end, and it means that first the result will be drawn from those three, and then the result will be drawn from here, which gonna be a knife because that's the only option. The last part is an item grants. Basically, that means that you can add here anything. The generator not gonna even consider this. This is gonna be added to the card after everything gonna be done. So we can add stick for any reason that's gonna be added to this archetype. So now you got warrior, you get human, and then we're gonna go to another options. I know, but this is the last one. First, the important part is frequency. As you can see, I set the frequency to 1, 4, and 10. You can change it however you like. If you think that this gonna work better, it's up to you, but you can always click reset and go back to my settings. Similar with the rest, you can also always click reset to go back to my settings. And now you got 4 presets here. 2 for extras, then this is the character and enemy, and 2 for wildcards, which is boss and hero. The difference between all 4 of them is only the wildcard or the extra, but you might want to have different set of rules of generating stuff, so this is why I left 4. So the first thing is you can set how many attribute points on each of the rank will be used for generator. Same with the max attribute die and max skill die. So for example, if you create a novice enemy, you might don't want any dice to be on D12. Next one is the hindrances. I think in most case scenario, you don't need any hindrances in your NPC cards, but you can always use it if you want it. But there is actually quite interesting thing that I'm gonna suggest. Instead of hindrances, you can change the compendium to more like character traits. So, for example, wise, drunk, or whatever. And then instead of using hindrances, you can just randomize the character. So the next is follow advancement rules. What does it mean? That means that if you untick it, that means that, for example, the skill based on smarts can be bigger than the smarts itself. And also that works for the edges. If you tick it, it's gonna follow the logic of savage words. And the last is anomalies. I suggest to leave it as it is, but you can untick it if you don't like it. What does it mean? That means that for now it's 3% chance that one of the attributes gonna be bigger or lower than usual. So for example, this means that there is 3% chance that your character will be extremely weak or extremely strong. That means that he's gonna start, for example, not with the dice of D4, that he's gonna start, for example, with the dice for D4 -1, and his maximum dice gonna be D10 instead of D12. Or if he's very strong, then opposite way, he's gonna start from D6 and end on D12 +1. You don't need to use it. I think it might give you even more random and fun results. Okay, this is it. And now we can finally generate our warrior. We're gonna do 3 options. We're gonna call him Arnold and we'll generate. As you can see, the roll tables also happened. And now you got 3 different Arnold's with different agility, different set of items, and this is it.